jumping over the double yellow lines into oncoming lanes of traffic, blowing right through the red lights. The dangerous driving continues, but quite frankly, the scariest moments are when he pulls into a stop or slows down. So I don't. All right, folks. Sorry it took me so long to get going, but we are here with the chase of the century right now. Hold on. With a SUV Dodge Charger. Chris Christie on the call. All right. Sorry, I had to do a pregame show with the NBA, watching it in the background. I know I'm late. I know I've been watching it. I know what has transpired. ABC will be showing us replays. This is as viewer discretion advised as it gets, and you are going to have to deal with me bringing that up multiple times throughout this. And why is that? Because we have a suspect that has been shooting at police. We have national news here, across local, every news channel here in Los Angeles and across the world is covering this. We have someone firing out of their window at police in the back. This is, again, most as ridiculous and as dangerous as these get. Sometimes we like to laugh. Sometimes we like to cry. This is one of those that do not watch unless you anticipate the absolute worst occurring, because this is as ugly and as bad as it will get. For those of you that missed it before, they will likely show replays of it, and I'm going to try my best to find... You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do here? I don't know how... I got to do a pregame show for 30 minutes. Pregame show for 30 minutes, and this chase is still going. I'm going to try and find a replay here. If I can't get it, you guys are going to have to bear with me while I don't know how this ends, but if it does become a shootout... Okay, I've got the... Let's see if I can re-rack it here somehow. Shit, I can't re-rack it on. Can't re-rack it on when it's live. As he's displayed already, exactly. So we have an SUV Dodge Charger. He is going down Pacific Coast Highway. Pacific Coast Highway. We were just in Downey. What's your speculation here when it comes to traffic? Is it going to be just inundated with so many cars for the rest of the... This is a suspect who has opened fire on police on stream. All right, we don't have Chris right now. Maybe he's communicating with somebody. All right. Just to give you a little background, this is not the suspect's vehicle initially. He was in a different vehicle. They tried to pull him over for reckless... Sorry, guys. I'm trying to... There was an incident. I'm going to make myself a little smaller. I also advisory, I will not be showing someone get lit up with 1,000 bullets. So I'm going to put the chase on... I'm going to put the chase on the TV where I have a couple seconds of buffer. You will not showing gore on stream either. And that's where we're very much headed. And we've seen some dangerous situations, like, for example, on surface streets. I think we can pull up that video. Coming to an intersection with... Oh, here we go. We got replays. We got replays before, for those of you trying to catch up at this chase. Did about 100 miles an hour on side streets, pulls up to an intersection here where there are people in the sidewalks, and now there's going to be a shit ton of people on the sidewalk. Look at this, right in front of him. All traffic is coming to a stop. Is thankfully slowed down, waited for the foot traffic to pass through. No, even if I don't, there is no way ABC Stream is going to be showing you if this guy getting lit up training day style. This is live again. We're live again with kids in the... No, this is not live. This is what happened before. This is the same video we just showed you. But remarkably, he got through this. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a 6-star chase. He's putting everybody in harm's way. This is the third shooting where, if you look closely, you're going to see... Okay, that's not live. It looked like he was firing through the windshield. Is that live? Wait. Could he have been firing? What was he firing? Could somebody been firing in? They may have... going... I don't think this is live. Yeah, that's a replay. Okay, so now we're seeing what you guys missed before. Someone was either firing through the windshield or firing into the cabin. The holes in his windshield. And we're not in San Bernardino County where they have the authority to shoot from the helicopters. The vehicle sometime during the pursuit.
It looks to be just one suspect in the car, the driver, but we couldn't really tell because the windows are so dark, and he did roll down his window a bit, for just a bit, but just driving with one hand very nonchalantly, didn't seem really stressed at all. It was remarkable to watch this.
We've had wrong side of the road. We've had, look at this, we're just squeezing through. That person has no clue what's going on. I don't know how this ends other than a shootout. The one time he slowed down, he pulled, ABC zoomed in, and you can see the blast coming from the rifle out of the front seat back at the cops. So there have been shots fired, and that was right when they zoomed in too. You could see the fire coming from the cabin. No, I'm not going to get banned because I'm not going to show someone getting lit up. I already warned you of that. If you're looking for none of these stations here in none of these stations are going to show it either.
Okay, watch closely.
Oh, look at all those bullet holes in the front.
The front winch, 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet holes in the front windshield.
Oh, he's stopping. So
is he stopping?
I can't tell.
He's slowing down, but he's still moving.
Okay.
He's still moving. That was just a super close-up trying to get us a look of this driver. And keep in mind, we believe that he has some sort of an assault-type weapon on him. It looks like a semi-automatic rifle of some sort, and he has put it out the window, and he's fired with it, and he's fired with it from inside the cabin of the vehicle as well. Through the windshield is our suspicion. And there was a third shooting early on, Ellen, as well, that you were able to see.
Right, and it fired directly at officers. Stopped, literally stuck his head out the window, fired at officers. And the second one he did again.
Okay, I'm good now.
And, you know, this man we obviously know is full of rage. The initial call was a road rage incident. Mm-hmm. And so we know that this man is angry. He's desperate to get away. And
yeah, we're live right now.
Capable of doing anything to get away.
Very tight streets here in Harbor City as he's going through
Harbor City.
Really only room for one car to get through. And there's folks who, you know, have been watching this and listening to us. They're coming out and watching this pursuit. There they are sitting on the side.
Do not go outside and watch this, chicks. Not this one. No. I know it's a thing to do in LA, but this is not the time or place to do it.
Shooting again. Officers.
Oh, okay.
Shots fired.
Shoot out his windshield.
Shot out the back. Shot out the back. We got smoke coming out the back. We're really picking up speed here now.
Occurred and then he accelerated. It's hard to tell. We'll re-rack that and we'll take a good look at it. We don't know if somebody's shooting at him.
And now he is okay. He stopped.
Oh, full stop. That's not good.
I don't. In park.
We're in.
No.
Oh, it did look like that for a second.
Okay. He's going again. I didn't see any shooting in that case.
Oh,
but
now he's
really
driving. Oh, so
accelerating.
maybe he's
Really picking up speed. Oh my God, how fast we're going here. On the side streets, we got to be north of 70 miles an hour here. Through intersections, hard through stop signs. Thank God we're in a, oh my Lord, I thought that was the bird was a oncoming car in the.
not driving the same as he was before.
Is it possible that he was hit from the outside because behavior now has changed from just
Lord in heaven.
last few seconds.
so perhaps-
Once we saw that, he seems to be more desperate to get out.
Again, and doesn't seem to be driving as efficiently as he was before, and just
Okay, here's a shot. We could look into the cabin.
Look at all those bullet holes in the front.
He's moving around. Hard to see. All right, there's a good look at the suspect right there.
back on Pacific Coast.
This is we haven't had a 6-star chase in a really long time. Usually the Bearcat is 5, but shots fired like this is definitely 6. We're slowing down this move that he likes to stop and then just hit the gas as hard as possible.
People, you don't know. I mean, this is a really tricky situation for law enforcement, and because you can't predict where he's going, he's not going in a loop, a predictable loop by any means. He's just kind of meandering through Southern California. It's hard to get in front of him and to get somebody to stop him, but this might be an ideal spot as he goes through this alleyway, and he's more isolated, not on the open street where there's a lot of traffic, but he's going to be out on the open street in just a second here, turning right now on Southwestern Avenue in Harbor City. So he's back on the streets with a lot.
Back on the street.
And sort of speeding up, slowing down, slowing down. It is definitely driving differently than he was before.
Look at the speed. Look at the speed. Look at the speed.
We're trying to re-rack that. Yeah. We'll get that for you in just a second so we can give it
Southwestern Avenue
a little bit of
City
analysis.
And we did see at least 4 vehicles behind him in pursuit.
All right, so he's going to.
Just hit the cop at the side of the road right into a pole.
Very, very careful. This is going to.
Oh, he's getting out of his car.
No.
Yep, this is when it gets dangerous, folks.
He doesn't have his
We're on a foot pursuit now.
No weapon, at least.
No weapon on him.
The rifle
Going for a run.
But he's running. Okay, so this.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Trying to carjack somebody.
He did not pull a weapon to get that guy out, so maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's no longer armed.
Perhaps he has
All
run
right,
out of
they're right on
ammunition.
him. There, he's going down.
They got him.
Okay.
Oh, my Lord.
This is best case scenario.
Wow.
You have to say this is best case scenario.
Yes.
This is.
It's a miracle he did not run
It
into
is.
any of the cars or run anybody over.
My biggest fear was when he stepped out.
Who's
of his
putting
office,
spoilers in the
he had a
chat?
gun, because he would not have lasted but a second, but he didn't, and.
Ranger, can you ban people?
Barry, look at all those people, and he's
He's
agitated.
a violent guy
Yeah,
who
he really-
tried to kill people, so they are getting him apprehended as quickly as possible. I hear Chris
Do we have
Christie.
Chris?
Chris, you with us? Well,
Chris Christie there?
okay, it looks like Sheriff's Department is on
Okay,
him,
no problems.
and PD of some sort is on him as well. They didn't take any chances. He's a violent man, willing to do anything. And
Thank
so,
goodness. Like you said, it is the best case
Best
scenario
case,
that they
it
got
is.
him, stopped this pursuit. and
Once he started shooting at officers from his vehicle, I thought we know one way this is going to end, but it didn't end that way. Look at them; they've got him basically hogtied.
Ranger, whoever spoiled it,
information
ban
from
him.
the
Ban him from the
was
chat, please.
Injured.
That is interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Could it be from a gunshot, or could it be from something else? It's a lot of blood. So I wonder if there was some shooting inside the vehicle, and maybe that's why that really dramatic, behavior after we saw that last gunshot, whether it's from him or from somebody on the outside, but he is clearly injured. I doubt it's from this scuffle. It could be, though.
Just when we think we've seen every type of pursuit, something new happens, and in 26 years of pursuits, I've never seen anything
Okay,
like
let's
that.
look at the last gunshot. We're trying to figure out if somebody shot into his vehicle. Oh, was that it?
Yep, that was it. And
And then suddenly you see how dramatic his behavior changed. Could this be a shot from a helicopter? There it is again,
it's
coming in through the front windshield.
because he did start driving more
See
erratically
right there,
Oh my
after
God.
that.
we're looping it for you, so you're seeing it over and over. But then you see the dynamic change in his behavior. He accelerates like crazy, and then he starts winding through the streets. That's it over and over again. Could they have hit him? Could that be what led to his extremely erratic behavior? And then have you noticed when he was running, he wasn't running at full speed?
Yep, they're
So
carrying him off
he
there.
still
He's
is
restraining
fighting.
it. Yep.
Still is fighting. But this is coming to an end. They're going to get him some.
God, I wish I can
medical help.
find a way to
We
run
don't
this
know about
back.
injuries. We saw multiple.
I need them to stop the.
incidents of
I have it.
gunfire. We
I can
haven't
pull the
confirmed
live
whether
stream
they
from
by
Facebook.
gunfire, but that can't be confirmed right now. We're going to continue to look into it. Nevertheless,
I can pull the live
scene
stream
is
from
gonna
Facebook, but I need them to
now
cut it off so I can go
be
back. It won't let me rewind.
Taken into custody. There was no
Try
shots.
something else.
There were no shots fired in the apprehension of the suspect once he got out of his vehicle,
Yeah.
which is good news.
This has been going on for an hour and 45 minutes now. So
Look at
thankfully
oh my
ending
God,
at,
look how many-
4:15 in the afternoon.
Look how many
on Friday.
cop cars
Thank
there are here.
goodness.
Thank
Okay, I found a way to get it.
as
We're good.
we
We're good.
will
We're good.
continue to give you
Okay, hold on.
updates and scour all the reports.
We're gonna go to the beginning of the chase.
People might have been hurt.
I'm gonna re-rack it
Traffic
to the beginning
collisions,
here.
Pedestrians, gunfire. That last little bit of
Safari.
incident, we're going to re-rack that for you too. He tried to squeeze his way through right here. A police vehicle. Look at that tire. It
Runs
just came
right into
undone.
that pole.
Oh
Right off the
my
axle.
God,
No
that's
control of the
God. You know how
vehicle.
fortunate we are
Here he
that they
comes.
ended this
He
way.
doesn't have a gun. He's
That he did it to himself and he didn't hit a car, he didn't hit anyone in the street. I don't know how these keep ending in best case scenarios. He could have gotten shot right there for all we know. Then he tries to jack this truck.
And then he just sort of gives up, and this is when they apprehend him.
This first officer takes him down right there. Deputies then jump on him, and they're very, very quick to try to get him to subdue.
He was fighting.
They don't know if he has a gun, a knife. They already know that he's willing to use it if he has it. So you have to apprehend him any way you can.
Let's go.
To quell the threat, and they did. So he is.
Oh, that's so annoying. It doesn't let me rewind. Skip back, skip back, skip
Wasn't getting
back.
hurt, etc. But best case scenario when it comes to this coming to an end.
We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
We're not though. Hold on, guys.
Oh, hang on. We're going to stay with this just for a second because now you can see. Let's remind folks of this intersection. Let me see if we can get that for you
If we
again.
can put the sky map up, or we're trying to get Chris
This
back.
is going to be an issue when it comes to the investigation and the major
Okay,
thoroughfare
finally.
that's going to be blocked. So we're trying to get specifically where we are, but there will be an investigation, and as you can see, a massive amount of law enforcement has showed up, and then people now are coming out of their homes and they want to get a look at what happened. What's remarkable is that collision, when he tried to squeeze through that one vehicle and a police car, he hit so hard that his entire wheel on the passenger side basically came off. And he had no control whatsoever and went into that light pole. Maybe that
got
was
onto the 50 freeway and immediately transitioned onto the 91 freeway.
Hold on.
after cutting
And
off
I got
some
people
of the
knocking at my
narrow
fucking
transition
door now.
road.
It's just
And now
stress
you
level
see
through the roof.
chase
Hold on.
is on.
Be right
And in
back.
fact, I do not
We're
see
running this
any
back.
black and whites that have
Running this
been
back what led up to this
yet.
point,
They
so
have
bear with
fallen
me.
way back, not on purpose. They are going to enter the frame here any minute, I would imagine. I have to believe they are dedicating more resources to this pursuit. I can tell you that there are air resources overhead calling out the location, still pushing about 100 miles per hour, and that black pickup truck. Again, this is an innocent person's vehicle who was carjacked at the gas station near Ontario Avenue, just to the west of Rising Sun. Don't have an exact cross street of that gas station, but in that general vicinity, they were chasing him down Ontario Avenue when he pulled into the gas station and again carjacked this truck, a heavy-duty truck that is now on the run here, westbound 91 freeway, guys.
All right. All right, so we're running this back because I was a little late joining us, but how we got to this point and how all of those bullet holes got into the cabin. This is not the person's vehicle. It was stolen.
Whether there were other passengers inside, potentially even a child or a baby seat, you have no idea. We hear about these stories so often where somebody
Front, back right wheel looked down here at the beginning.
Again, we have to remind you, this is a pickup truck that was at the gas station, presumably being filled with gas. So we have to assume
He stole it at a gas station?
Full tank of gas in that pickup truck.
Wow.
Situation, a lot of unknowns, and like I said, that all of that information leads me to believe that they are going to dedicate more resources to this because the suspect behind the wheel here is obviously very dangerous, must be taken off the road. We've already seen some of that erratic driving. You can see him
I can't believe that
still
ended with
100
him
miles
getting
per hour
arrested and not put in an
traffic.
ambulance.
But that's going to change here, of course, the further west we
The first time I thought I was gonna have to use this.
You're right.
I could say this one though.
You're right. He's already coming up on Anaheim Hills, covering a lot of real estate in a short amount of time here, even using the shoulder to get around whatever traffic is in his way here. Again, he is on a...
What led up to this point, it was even more intense than the way we ended when I was watching it.
That single dotted white line there at... I mean, this is incredible. That is an accurate speed. We're pushed all the way in here. He is doing about a buck to maybe even 110 miles per hour here. So really dangerous speeds. Can't under...
Ranger, were you able to take care of all the spoilers in the chat, or do I need to do that after this
At these
ends?
speeds, we say this all the time, you would much rather see it on the freeway than some of the erratic driving just that we saw in a few minutes on surface streets. If this gets off the freeway, I really worry what kind of damage he could do on surface streets. So if they could keep him on the freeway, that'd be great. But for the time being, they are not even
Good work,
in the
my
vicinity.
friend. Thank
You
you.
can see the moves that he is doing here. I mean, this is very dangerous, very erratic driving. Almost hit that car right there, cutting people off, and he doesn't even have any police behind him. No lights and sirens. He is just booking it at, just
It was
as
originally
fast as that
carjacked
truck
suspect that
traveling
wasn't even being
with
pursued by
helicopters
police.
overhead.
How long is this gonna run? Okay, so 30 something minutes here. We're gonna stick with it.
we're dealing with a lot of unconfirmed information. Obviously, we're speculating a little bit. Anytime you hear the word road rage, you have to wonder whether the person is in their right state of mind. Are they under the influence? Is it something like that? Or is this a larger crime spree that is underway here in Corona this afternoon? We're now into Anaheim Hills area where he is still riding that shoulder to get around the very few cars in his way. They're not really even in his way, but he is just about to off-road here to get around the few cars that there are.
This is all calm compared to what we're eventually leading up to.
Right here, again, he's got the whole freeway to himself. Why he's using that shoulder, I have no idea. But again, the information that we have received from police is that this was a road rage incident that resulted in a hit and run, and our assignment desk did get some information that this may also involve a robbery. So again, this could be part of a larger crime spree, or this could just be, well, I think at this point it's fair to say this is a crime spree, because now when you see somebody daring enough and brazen enough to carjack somebody in the middle of the day like that at a gas station just to get away from the cops, obviously this is somebody with probably, and we can't say this for sure obviously, but probably
Yeah, we're running the chase back here. It did end. We're running it back for the people that couldn't see it live, and also I missed the first half of it, so I'm curious how it transpires as well.
You called it. Look at those main lines. Those main lanes are all full. So now he has to use those express lanes. The main lanes have backed up.
I mean, Chase Elliott's out for Sunday's race.
Is barely moving.
I can't deal with
Still doing
these.
100 miles per hour.
I can't deal with this right now, guys.
As he approaches the 55 freeway, that's part of the reason that the freeway slows down right here. It's also a little bit of an incline here, so he is going against traffic. Again, a bulk of that rush hour traffic is coming eastbound. He is going westbound, but you're so right. The further west he gets, the heavier traffic is going to get, and obviously the priority is to end this somehow. But right now, I don't see how, because they don't even have units in position, and with traffic building the way it is, those units that eventually arrive here are going to have to fight all this traffic. Now it looks like he's taking that transition onto the southbound 55. So it certainly appears we're going to go deeper into Orange County here in the next few minutes as he commits to the southbound side of the 55 freeway, I believe.
Still driving along.
I would have expected CHP the first. I would have expected CHP.
This was what, 91 westbound? What the?
That might be Corona PD.
Oh my God!
He's shooting.
Oh, that's what he shooting out the front.
That's an assault rifle. That's an assault rifle that just.
He stops on the highway to shoot out the back of all the police officers.
Shot in the direction of those law enforcement units. That is believed to be Corona PD. I can't confirm that. That's believed to be Corona.
Holy
PD.
shit!
Large, long assault rifle.
Pulled an assault rifle out the front window and fires back at the police.
90 miles per hour, and all of those black and whites are at a standstill. We're going to try and get on the south side of the freeway here.
Oh, picking up incredible speed now, north of 100 miles an hour in the HOV.
Guys, we are dealing with, obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, we are dealing with a major criminal behind the wheel of this pickup truck. Flying across.
Oh my God, goes all the way across the freeway to an off-ramp at 80 miles an hour. Smoke coming out of the back. He might have popped one of those tires a little bit, skidding along. This was even before I was able to start tuning in.
Now he is, look at this. Is he wearing a uniform? Is he wearing a uniform? I can't tell.
He's wearing a uniform. He's wearing a Raiders jersey.
Sport, maybe it's okay, it's just a t-shirt. Okay. I thought I saw an arm patch there, excuse me. Yeah, it caught me off guard there. Obviously an older gentleman with a goatee wearing a baseball cap, and it does look like maybe a sports jersey or a t-shirt that he's wearing with that gun in his lap.
Oh, look at the size of that thing. Oh my Lord.
Lap there. And now look at this, communicating with the pickup truck next to him. The driver rolling down the window.
Oh my God, he has no clue. He has no clue.
Communicate with another driver. Looks like he's
Telling him probably with a high.
He's asking for directions. He's at Tustin Avenue, just off of the 55 freeway, and it looks like he was trying to figure out where he is or where he's going.
God.
There are going to be multiple agencies now that are going to be working cohesively, hopefully here in very short order to put this to an end. You're talking about Riverside County Sheriff. You're talking about Orange County Sheriffs. You're talking about Anaheim PD, Corona PD,
CHP.
California Highway Patrol.
There you go.
They will stop at nothing at this point after he just fired that weapon at those units. We don't know if anybody was hit. It was just it happened too fast.
I can't believe he stopped on the freeway and shot out the window.
There, but it appeared to be, from what I'm being told, a Corona PD officer that pulled in behind this pickup truck, and as he came to a stop in the middle of the transition, he pulled out that assault rifle, and look at this, right through the red here, he's making a left turn onto...
Oh, there's cars coming.
Is that onto the freeway, Rob?
There's a giant semi-truck making a right-hand turn onto the 91 freeway.
To the westbound side of the 91. He wants to get back onto the freeway. That's going to be the westbound 91 freeway. Driver's side window being rolled up now, guys.
Back on the freeway.
They will stop at nothing. I think that's fairly obvious at this point, even though we don't see any law enforcement in the picture just yet. That's going to change in the next few minutes. They have to work together and triangulate and catch up with him despite all the traffic, but that is going to change, and you're going to see lots of units pursuing this truck. They will even start performing traffic breaks to shut down the freeway if they have to. I'm being told as he shot back at that Corona PD officer, Corona PD fired back at the pickup truck. Now, you saw that close-up through the driver's side there. It certainly appeared that he was not injured, but there were bullets.
Oh, look at these speeds.
So a shootout there on the transition. Corona PD firing their weapons back. This is now an officer-involved shooting. They stopped, and he kept going, again, at triple-digit speeds, just as he's doing right now in the HOV lane. We, again, are on the westbound side of the 91 freeway.
God,
I don't
120.
see any. In fact, Rob, can you pull out? There might be one or two. That is going to be. Dan, help me out here. Is that an unmarked CHP unit? That might be an unmarked.
God, Chris Christie's camera work is so damn good.
SUV.
It is so hard to use the camera and zoom in because they are so high above. One little shift of the camera, and that shit will go like this.
It could be a K9 or either a supervisor. In any case, that's the white SUV. You see that? That's CHP. There's another black unmarked unit that's behind him. So a couple of unmarked units, and then I think I saw a black and white behind them. I'm sorry, there's a lot happening up here, guys, but from what I've counted, at least 3 units with their lights and sirens going. 2 of them look like fairly
105.
vehicles, or at least not your typical.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Chris Christie's in his fucking bag right now. This is Chris Christie at his absolute best. Look at the tailgate job done here. Oh my God.
This person in the HOV lane, still looking for a way to squeeze through here, slowing down with the traffic. It looks like he doesn't really have anywhere to go. Traffic's not exceptionally heavy. It's like moderate traffic right now. Basically, we'd call that stop and go, but he's slowing down with it because he really has nowhere to go with that center divider.
Gonna start approaching Downey here shortly. I didn't even get the notification until about 20 minutes into it, right about this point. All roads really do lead to Downey, don't they, guys? My God. Gotta find a way to get these NBA games on. What time is it? I can move over here. Bear with me, people. I gotta do a little moving.
Yeah, as we proceed through this at Chase, guys, I go through all of the possible ways in my head that this could possibly end, and I think it's fair to say that most of the typical ways that we're used to seeing these pursuits end are probably not on the list of how this one's going to end. And obviously, we have no idea how exactly it's going to come to an end, but the behavior that we are seeing here is, let's just say, next level.
That's a good way to put it.
We are dealing with multiple agencies even before he carjacked this truck. So despite the information that we received about the road rage and the hit and run, that would be a serious enough charge that would warrant a lot of law enforcement, no doubt. But if there was another robbery involved or whatever else, it certainly would make a lot of sense, because there was already 2 helicopters overhead when we were hearing about this pursuit. It included Riverside County Sheriff and Ontario PD. Ontario is nowhere near here. So for Ontario to come down to Corona, that raises lots of questions. Corona PD involved in this now in a big, big way after their units have been fired at. And CHP, before he carjacked this vehicle, was already on the way out via ground and air units with their airplane to continue monitoring this pursuit. So he has had a lot of eyes on him for the last hour or so, and obviously things have only ramped up since then. So again, the backstory here is going to be mighty interesting. We're going to have a lot of blanks to fill in as to how all of this started, what other crimes he has been involved with earlier in the day. I think it's going to be a lengthy list in any event, or at least quite serious. In any event, we find ourselves still on the 91 freeway, hugging that HOV lane, slowing down when he has to. Doesn't have a whole lot of pavement to play with in terms of that left shoulder, but the freeway is going to start to slow down. If he,
What are you guys talking about my butt for?
Takes the, let's see, he's coming up, I want to say he's coming up on the 5, right? Yeah, he's coming up on the 5 freeway. That'll be a big decision for him. He might commit to the 91, which I think if he stays in that lane, he still has an option, I believe. I just saw that sign. I think he still has the option of staying on the 91 or getting off and getting onto the 5 freeway. He's over the goal point, thinking about switching over, and I think pushing on that sign right there.
All right, I think I
So
can.
if he stays on the left side, if he stays in that
I'm
left
good
lane,
until
that'll come on
5:10
the 91,
p.m.
right side onto the
Pacific
5.
time
He's staying left,
is when I
taking the
need
left
to get my
lane
computer
onto the
back. I
91,
can
so
watch.
staying on the 91
I can watch the
westbound,
other games
where
on my other
traffic
devices
is
until
a
then.
little bit lighter, I will say, for the next couple of miles.
Somebody said thank you to all the highways that recruited me during this process. With that being said, I am now committing to the 91 freeway. That's funny. This was not the chase to be cracking jokes about, but now that we have a somewhat civil ending here, you can let them fly.
I mean, just with the knowledge of the high caliber weapon that he's got in his lap there, you just, and the way he's willing to use it, if he's willing to fire at police officers, he's willing to fire at anybody who gets in his way. And that's why, as you guys are talking about, it's so dangerous to be anywhere near this. These are all innocent people. If at the very least they could get more units to shut down the freeway, that would be the idea.
Man, we did a lot of driving here, didn't we?
From my perspective,
This is right where we were last night.
that they should be doing is shutting down the freeway. I will leave them to make that call. Leave it to them. But right now, I don't see.
It's the SUV version of the Dodge Charger.
They have fallen way back because he's continued these ridiculous speeds. I think he's just blowing up a little dust and dirt there on the side of the lane there. But all 4 tires so far appear appear to be intact. I don't think he's damaged the vehicle in any way. We've seen a lot of close calls, but I don't think he's actually hit anybody. So the vehicle performing great. We have to assume that he's got a full tank of gas. We have to hope that the tank was almost empty and maybe they didn't have time to fill the gas up yet. We don't know. But in any event, he's now starting to shift over to the right, maybe trying to get around traffic or maybe thinking about an exit plan.
Yeah, we're here running it back for those of you that missed it and you're watching this on a replay or a VOD. The stream is broken up into two parts where I picked it up and then what led to it, because obviously you need some context here.
As he makes his way through Cerritos,
Guys,
I think
kicking up some serious dirt there, but these SUV Dodge Chargers can handle the shoulder.
for the next couple of miles. And
Oh, there was a fishtail swerve under the bridge right there as we get into heavy traffic on the 91.
he is taking some of these lane changes really, really fast. So he is obviously very agitated. His adrenaline must be through the roof. And,
This is
there's
not
what
an
T-Mobile
unboxing.
looks like.
All the unboxing gave me was cash. It's the best unboxing you can get.
Getting off at Artesia.
All right, we're getting off here. You just fart? I can hear all the helicopters now flying. I can see them all in the distance leaving the chase.
Red light, through the light.
Oh my
coming
God.
off
Oh!
coming
Oh my God! Wrong side of the road, a red light!
Coming up to another red light with lots
Cut him off. We're going straight into an intersection, wrong side of the road.
wrong lanes. He's going the wrong way on Artesia Boulevard, shifting back over to the correct side of the road there.
Oh my
Continuing
God.
westbound
Even
Artesia
knowing the
Boulevard.
it's so
Guys,
stressful.
What we don't see here is any law enforcement yet. None of them were able to get off the freeway with them. We have not seen any law enforcement for several minutes. This is so scary.
Great job, Chris Christie, today. Amazing job.
You can't predict. He hasn't established any kind of a pattern. So, to be honest, a spike strip in this situation, I would call it a long shot. Now, there are a couple of units that have managed to pull up here on Artesia Boulevard. I think one of them is the same black.
Yeah, we're in Downey now. Guess where we're headed? Rosecrans Ave. We're on Artesia Boulevard. All roads lead to Downey. All roads lead to Downey in the chat.
About 80 to 90 miles per hour on Artesia Boulevard, coming up on yet another red light here. He's going to skirt around it and go through. Watch this. He's coming up to the crosswalk and now inching his way through here, slowing down for the cross traffic and continuing westbound Artesia with those units behind him.
All roads lead to Downey. If you're here in here currently,
Oh boy.
oh my Lord, as we plow through that intersection. Those of you that missed it earlier are watching this on replay. As you can tell, we're watching back what led up to the inevitable ending here.
This might be the
What we missed
worst
pre-stream.
time of the day to see this happening. I mean the
Look how many
worst.
kids are on the sidewalk too, how
3,
badly
4
this could have
o'clock,
gone.
People getting off school, as you said, people coming home from work. The streets are obviously very busy. We haven't seen a whole lot of pedestrian traffic here, but he is putting so many lives in danger, and I just worry about what happens when he comes to another stop. If he feels threatened or if he stops the vehicle once again.
Oh, they're pulling over to make a right-hand turn. He's doing like 75 through the intersection. See how close that was?
Oh,
Hard on the brakes.
forget about it. I mean, he's slowing down for some intersections and blowing right through others. It just takes one wrong move. If you have
This is the definition of a 6-star chase right here.
Threading the
Woo!
oncoming lanes of Artesia Boulevard again, just trying to get past a couple of vehicles here. It's not even like a big traffic.
Oh, they're coming down off the hill. They can't even see him. That's a downhill right there.
About 100 yards back.
Oh, he tried to make a pass, but there were cars coming down off the hill. Wrong side of the road. At least they can see him now. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. That's a two-way left turn right there. Thank God. Now we're on the right side of the road again. Look at the speeds. 85 in the middle of basic traffic here during rush hour.
Immediately goes to the wild and crazy chase we covered in Fullerton just a few months ago back in November. We all know how that one ended, a much different situation, but still.
How are these people
literally saw 3 cars
able to drive like this? Adrenaline must do something to the senses.
Look, people biking across the street here.
Oh, thank God we didn't. We made a left-hand turn. We didn't plow through the bikes.
Boulevard onto the southbound side of
Still Downey Norwalk.
Southbound side of Woodruff, where he maybe even saw those people and just figured, let me just get off of Artesia here. He made a wild left there, and when we can, we'll pull back once again and just see if any of those units have managed to keep up with him from the side.
As a med student, trust me, adrenaline will make you do things you thought you never could. I'm telling you, people become the greatest drivers in the world when they have their adrenaline pumping through their body. Here's the portion. Look at all of these. What are these, school kids? School's out, and we are in a 6-star police chase here as we approach these kids in the middle of an intersection.
At a slow clip here, lets the kids cross and just keeps going. Nobody here has any idea what has happened or what is.
This is why spreading the news about police chases is so important, people, because if there's one going on in the area, let people know. Keep them off the roads.
He's stopping. He's trying to maybe communicate with that white SUV. Look at this. There are a bunch of units.
Look at all the units. Now that cop's running back to his cruiser.
Different story.
As we take off at 100 miles an hour.
The first question I have, and Rob will help me out with this when he can. I want to, and with the help of our cyber desk, I want to get a better idea of what other agencies are involved here, because like I said earlier, there are going to be numerous agencies, as there likely were right there just at that intersection alone.
You can see all the different styles of cruisers, which is what Chris Christie's talking about. They got OCPD, they got CHP, they got LAPD, they got LASD. Every single agency is on top of this one right now.
Anaheim still. I'm being told still Corona and Anaheim, still the primary agencies here that have managed to catch up with him.
Corona PD, Anaheim PD, CHP, you name it, they are here. Only a 6-star chase can unite the tribes like this.
Confirm that here in a second. That's South Street. Made a turn onto South Street, going northbound on South Street. The good news, guys, is that there were about at least a half a dozen armed units behind him, that they will be in a position now to mitigate.
Wrong side of the road.
We are about to see here, but here he is, face to face in oncoming lanes of traffic with more unsuspecting motorists, completely innocent bystanders, as he just tries to squeeze through. Those units are gonna, what are the options? You have to wonder, what are the options for these units? They are ready for anything, but how do they strategize to bring this to an end any quicker than we see any other chase? Because this guy has to be taken off the road as soon as possible. We know that. That's a given at this point.
Oh God, stopping again.
South in Autry, and he keeps going. He's got a half a dozen units making the left turn with him. Look at him, very nonchalant. One hand on the wheel. What's in his left hand? You guys might have a better shot than I do with the monitor.
No, the Bearcat would have come into this chase absolutely if there was a standoff, but
okay, so he's on a much narrower residential street. Yep, another school zone, a much narrower residential street on Michelson Street. Coming up on, he's not really familiar with this area, so he's going to probably make up some of these turns, just kind of go, but this is a fairly enclosed neighborhood here, so this street might lead to a major. This one that he turned onto might actually not. That looks like a playground that I just saw. Looks like another school. Is that a school, Rob? It's another school. Passing another school. I don't see any kids around. Here comes that, I think is that's Anaheim PD.
God,
Anaheim
so
PD
many
overhead.
birds in the air.
Anaheim
Look at the
police
speed on
the
these
ground.
side streets, man.
Corona PD following this guy to the bitter end.
Hard on the brakes. When there's smoke, that is brake rub. When you get that off-colored smoke coming out of the back. Sometimes it's just kicking up dust if you're on the side of the road, but man, those brakes must be hot.
Yeah. Yeah, just as I thought, I think he's a little bit trapped in this neighborhood. Now,
Oh, here it comes.
Look at this, firing more shots.
Oh my God.
Those units, firing at least 2 more shots. Pointing right, something came flying off either back of the truck or he threw it at. Did you see that, Rob? I think he ran over something too. I think he might have run over some trash or debris, but we just saw 2 more flashes from the barrel.
Flashes from the barrel, emptying the clip at the officers behind him. Yeah, you want to know why it's 6 stars? Now you see why.
100 miles per hour, Colleen.
100 plus miles. Oh, look at this. Look how fast he's fucking going. Bellflower. It's Bellflower. You'll get to know Artesia, Rosecrans, Bellflower. That's how you know you're down in Downey. That's how you know you're leaving Downey.
You see a little bit of smoke coming from the brakes as he a hard brake there as he came up on that intersection. So a little bit too hard.
Little tire skid, little brake pad smoke.
Through Del Amo, rather, continuing.
Yeah, Lakewood Village now.
Northbound Bellflower through all of these red lights, hoping to lose those officers. When we get a chance, we'll wind out once again to see if any of them have managed to keep up after that last shooting. And it looks like they have fallen back again. They have fallen back, trying to figure out. And certainly we hope that nobody was hurt there, but that's a very real possibility. He fired at fairly close range. You guys might be able to re-rack that video when you get a chance, and we can maybe see he turned a tight corner there, and then he stopped the vehicle. If he was able to see those officers from the position where he
wrong side of the road, wrong side of the road, wrong side of the road, splitting cars.
Those officers were continuing through another major intersection.
Oh!
Through another red light, continuing northbound Bellflower Boulevard. The answer is 0. There is no possibility that they will back off of this guy intentionally. There is no possibility that this is going to end any other way than either him going to jail tonight or worse. So that's the given that I can tell you. But how we get to that point is certainly up for grabs.
Crazy. I can't remember the last time we had a 6-star chase. We've had a 5-star chase with the Bearcat. 5 stars Bearcat. 6 stars is exchanging GTA gunfire. Not the video game. Actual GTA is what we have here. Hey, Mixed Soap. Welcome to Locust Nation. Thank you.
By the way, I have to correct myself. I said northbound. He's traveling.
Mr. Invincible was that a 6-star? I thought we had that as a 5-star chase.
Northbound. He's traveling southbound ever since
That was
he
Bearcat.
made that turn out of that neighborhood. So traveling closer to Seal Beach here as he makes his way through Lakewood, and now continuing here, slowing down where he has to, but really with no hesitation, jumping into the wrong lanes of traffic and continuing to blow through red lights. I apologize, Ellen. You mentioned something there. You asked me a question. I didn't quite catch it. What was that?
Ben Seifert. Hey, you too. Welcome to Locust Nation.
Well, it's a good question. There it
Oh,
is.
Mr.
There it is,
Invincible was a
405.
6.
He's jumping
Okay.
on the 405.
Touche.
And that, I think, will be the northbound side.
We got on the 405?
405. It sure is. It sure is. He is taking the 405 northbound, and we are back on the freeway. The good news with this, aside from the obvious, is that CHP will now be, with maybe a little bit of luck on their side, maybe in a better position to shut down the
Wow.
freeway. At least
Ranger,
shut down the
why is
freeway behind him.
Chase out?
Potentially
Is there a reason?
even shut down the freeway ahead of him. But this is an all-hands-on-deck situation. They will
Chase
use
Elliott
every
out for this
unit at
weekend
their
after
disposal to
snowboarding
shut down
accident,
the
suffered a
freeway. I
leg
have to
injury and
believe
having
that's
surgery?
the case.
Holy shit. That's a big deal. That's, imagine if LeBron, whoa! Oh my God. You guys see the Southwest airplane? Just appeared in the camera. Oh my God. This chase has everything. It just took up the whole screen. I mean, imagine LeBron missed with his foot injury, it was because of snowboarding. With the playoffs on the line, that's essentially what's happening. That Southwest plane just casually flying right in front of these choppers in the LAX airspace. Welcome to LA, man. Crowded freeways, crowded airspace. Helicopters have their own highway, as do airplanes that are landing at LAX, man. It is chaos.
Here, with limited knowledge, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, obviously, guys, but the only practical thing that I can think of, and there happens to be one nearby, is for the LA County Sheriff's Department, for example, to bring in one of their armored Bearcat vehicles.
Bearcat.
Presumably, they will need to bring in several armored vehicles to surround this truck. But this is a situation where a pit maneuver ain't going to happen. Spike strips are out of the question. All of the things that we're used to seeing.
Well, spike strips are not out of the question. Pit maneuver for sure, because that SUV Charger is not pittable.
To surround this truck and potentially box it in, unless this comes to an end some other way sooner. But in the meantime, those units are following from a distance. They don't want to get up right behind them, as you mentioned, Alan, because obviously every time they do that, they end up getting shot at. So nobody wants to see that again. They're going to stay back a little bit, not too far. They don't want to lose them, but they will pull back a little bit so they're ready for the end here. And now he's off of the freeway at Temple Avenue, by the way, maybe getting back on. There's an opportunity if he makes the right here, another entrance ramp, I believe. In any event, making a right turn onto westbound Willow Street. Westbound Willow Street at about the speed limit here, slowing down a little bit compared to the driving we've seen earlier on surface streets. In any event, he's now going westbound closer to the Long Beach city limits.
Quick recap on how this started. It was originally a carjack suspect that led to, I think it was at a gas station. It was getting filled up, led to some road rage on the 91 freeway, and then we got shots fired out of the driver's side window twice so far, twice.
But traffic-wise and just the potential for risk here is just through the roof. So again, making another random turn, appears to be a random left turn southbound onto Cherry Avenue, southbound Cherry Avenue in Signal Hill, as we make our way closer to the shoreline now in Long Beach. He is, again, slowing down compared to earlier, but still driving very erratically and steering right around anybody in his way. No respect for that red light there, going right through that as well. Crossing Hill Street, and here come those units behind him. You can see that primary unit, believed to be either a canine or a supervisor.
Wow, canine.
Possibly Corona PD. And then you've got several other units.
Look at this camera work by Chris Christie. He's got the highlight on the different vehicles circled.
In pursuit, multiple
Teleprompter out here. The telestrator, I should say.
As we make our way through
Tight quarters here. Tight quarters. Poly High District.
I'm sorry, guys. We're working on that as he's making a right turn now onto westbound PCH, making a westbound turn onto Okay. All right, Jay, stand by 1 second. Long Beach PD, I'm understanding from our assignment desk, is being notified as they are now in their jurisdiction.
He's calling. Chris Christie's in the chopper, and he's handling the camera at the same time. Usually, there's usually one aerial journalist operating all of this, and then there's the pilot who's driving the helicopter, flying the helicopter.
He is on PCH, westbound PCH. Technically westbound. It's obviously a north and southbound highway that goes all the way through LA County, but he is traveling in the westbound direction along PCH. There will be another opportunity. In fact, he could even take this all the way to the 605 or the 710 freeway here in the
Wrong
next couple
side as that
miles.
car makes a right-hand
If he
turn
goes all
right
the
in
way
front.
through, I've got some mixed minus issues in my ear, guys. Stand by one
Wolves in
second.
4 says Chris Christie is the best in intense chases. Eliana better in a less intense chase when more entertainment is needed. Stu's that was the original Stu. I'll agree with that. Chris Christie is. This was as much of a A+ performance as I've seen,
Coming to a
considering the
stop, coming to a
circumstances.
stop.
Oh!
Somebody-
Whoa!
Is somebody firing at, or is he firing out? See, it almost looked like somebody was firing in. Did you see, Rob? Could you tell?
Smoke out bullet holes. That's how the bullet holes got there in the front window. Who would have been shooting?
through the windshield?
Why would the smoke?
I
I
don't know.
don't fucking know.
But it looked like from up here, it looked like he was firing out of the vehicle. Again, I don't know what he was pointing at, but more shots fired here.
And every time he fires, this dude fucking hits the gas like crazy.
Yep,
There's no cops in front of him. Who the hell would have shot through the windshield?
For another major intersection, what was unclear there is what he was shooting at. Because if he was willing to fire through his own windshield, he must have had a target that he was pointing at. We did not see where those bullets ultimately landed. This is the third separate shooting by my count. And quite frankly, guys, we don't know if anybody has been struck by gunfire over the course of this pursuit yet. It's certainly possible. We just don't have that information yet.
God. So hungry, too. Stressed, hungry. The shit had to happen right when I pressed go on the NBA pregame stream. And the entire chat was just talking about the chase. So annoying. Squeezing by whatever this little median is. Like it couldn't have happened 30 minutes later or 30 minutes before. Right when I had all my streams and graphics and everything loaded. And I got to sit there and poor Justin's got to do a show and no one is talking about it. I'm a little hangry. Whoa, as we fishtail. This guy loves hitting the gas like that. Those Dodge Chargers can pick up pretty quick. Ranger, can you ban that guy, please, in the chat? Just scroll up a little bit. You'll know who it is. Yeah, you got it. Driving along. Boring ass ball game in Boston. Why'd they put this game on national TV?
Yeah, doing about a 75 to 80 miles per hour again. This is about the fastest we've seen him on surface streets in quite a while. He was slowing down dramatically as he weaved his way through LA County and then into Long Beach. But now he's on PCH with not a whole lot.
The name is
doing about 60 now. I should mention that we have already bypassed the 710 freeway. There is the possibility that he aims towards the 110 freeway and decides to get on the Harbor Freeway.
Ranger. The screen name
And then
is
at that point, he has
Global
more options. But in the meantime,
Devious.
we have bypassed
Is the one.
710. He is still committed to PCH. And anytime you see any traffic in his way, still following the same tactic of jumping over the double yellow lines into oncoming lanes of traffic, blowing right through the red lights. The dangerous driving continues, but quite frankly,
all good.
the
You and me
scariest
both.
moments
I
are
do
when
it
he pulls
myself.
into a
I
stop
just do it
or
after.
slows down. So I don't know what's worse at this point with this guy. They just need, they need to outnumber him with armored vehicles, and potentially, most likely, this will culminate in a use of force situation because of the amount of the dire threat here to everybody in this guy's vicinity is so immediate. The danger is so immediate. They have probably, and I say probably because I don't know this for sure. It'd be great to get this from somebody, from an expert. I have a law enforcement
Old
officer
Puffer.
right next to me who was flying here.
Shout out to Old Puffer. Welcome back to Antarctic Nation. 3 months running.
And saying that they would be, it would be almost likely at this point that a supervisor has authorized the use of force to fire into that vehicle. Yeah, at this point, it's fair to say that gunfire may very well be fired in his direction if they can get units in position to bring to an end. That is certainly a possibility.
Where are we now?
A more
Wilmington?
peaceful resolution would be if they could somehow disable this truck some other way with an armored vehicle. But the way he's driving and the way the way he's willing to use that gun, all bets are off. I mean, it's really hard to say what's going to happen next.
Not the truth. They were talking about Bearcats when he got off the freeway. Wow, it was PCH. That's crazy. PCH is so busy at this time. No one on the street knows what's going on, man. No one. They're just driving, going about their lives. Little do they know this guy plowing through intersections, solid red lights, firing out his window. I don't like covering these chases at all. Not the ones that are this reckless. Gunfire, crowded streets, you got kids in sidewalks. I don't find that entertaining. I find that stressful. If someone's going to be in a park where there's nobody at and he's doing donuts trying to like duck cops, that's a much different situation because the collateral damage of that is he's doing it to himself, right? And endangering the police officers as well as himself. But when there's this many people on the street and he's shooting out the window, no. That's why it's 6-star chase. These are stressful. I also hate 100 miles an hour on busy streets because T-bones and intersections are possible.
We're still on PCH. We've come underneath the 110 freeway. We have left the jurisdiction of Long Beach, and we're now in, I believe, either LA County's Carson jurisdiction or potentially even Torrance as we make our way further west here along PCH. Again, I know we're having communication issues. I cannot hear you guys right now, but the chase is continuing with several units behind.
What happened? Still there. I'll fast forward a little bit.
Nothing.
I've seen one on the other side of the highway, not on my side of the highway, here in LA before, yeah. I know 5 o'clock games are starting in about 4 minutes. I believe got a little bit of time left on this chase.
Any cops behind them? They're all following, okay.
It is a Rays shirt. I'm a Mets fan, but don't mind the Rays. This would have been a great chance to just drive up straight into his, just try and ram him off the road.
Can somebody text me a number to maybe I can try dialing in?
On top of all this, Chris Christie can't communicate with the studio. He's trying to dial in. Got a little bit left here, folks. Gonna run it. Oh, this is it. Boom.
Oh, into the pole, into the pole, into the pole. They can't hear me, right?
We can hear you, Chris.
Look at this. Suspect. He's running.
Just
without
happened,
the gun,
just like
running
that.
Without the gun. They're gonna take him down here. He's now on Western Avenue. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's on foot trying to carjack.
What is that
else.
fit?
Trying to carjack somebody else.
What are the shorts? Tried another carjack. Man, he gets.
Whoa.
Oh, he's so lucky he didn't get edge speared right there too.
There he goes.
Oh,
5 cops on him.
they're giving
6
it to
cops.
him. Some of those cops have on body armor. At some point, what are they trying to grab? One's got the feet. One's got an arm. They're probably trying to disarm him at the same time. Look at all these different uniforms as well. That's so many different agencies. No canine.
No, I'm gonna dial in. Give me the number.
Of course, it had to be a Charles Woodson Raiders jersey, didn't it? There's no other jersey. What other Raiders jersey would have fit there? Tim Brown? No. I think it's got to be Woodson. Yeah, they got his feet. They're look like they're hog tying his feet. Marshawn, Randy Moss, yeah. All right, folks, that was the chase. And we somehow, whoa. Still resisting. That was the chase. If you love this kind of shit, you want to see more of it, follow the account, turn on your notifications. We will be here. Hopefully there's never a 6-star chase again, but if there is, you know where to find Birds in the Air Police Chase Live. Till next time, my friends, tip off across the league right now. See you on the timeline. Code 4. Put your 4s in the chat before we go. Code 4.